allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you. Is anyone interested in approving the agenda?
I will approve the agenda.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion, any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on. Approval of the minutes, you received these in email, plus they are on the agenda here in the packet. I will motion to approve the minutes.
I will second.
Thank you, Sherry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. All right. We are to citizens input. Is anyone here
Can we
from,
get the
oh,
fire
we're doing that first?
that you guys got the from?
That's okay.
That's fine.
Yep.
That's right. All right. So we have, the manager of Lowe's here to provide a, let's see, grant award for to the Fire Rescue Department Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you. Don't really have a speech prepared, so on behalf of Lowe's, we're honored to grant a $25,000 grant to the Fire and Rescue Sergeant Bluff for any projects they want to do. And I know we've already started working on some projects. At some point, we will have a red vest day where volunteers from the store will come help do things that we want to do around the station. So we're still working on what we're going to do, but pretty excited that we get to do that. We were very fortunate. Sioux City, Iowa actually had 2 approved for a grant through that hometown grant. So
2 out of 100.
yeah,
In the United
100. So,
States.
so
Amazing.
North Sioux City also got it. That's actually being covered by the Sioux Falls store because we can't do 2. There's just no way we can spread ourselves for that major project. So pretty exciting. 25 grand is pretty substantial. I looked at the list of some other stores that had other towns that had gotten it. So it wasn't the highest, but it definitely wasn't the lowest. So really excited about what we can do for the community. So looking forward to it. We do a project every year for a nonprofit organization, but this one's a bigger one than a typical project. So
Do you know what kind of the scope is or
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
it that
The
you share?
general scope that we wrote it for was to add an outdoor area at the station. We're starting to have people there frequently as call volume is. So there'll be a patio fence. We're going to be able to upgrade the door that needed to be replaced anyway. Door reader, shed for storage, smoker, a grill, all the seating, everything. He's already got another vendor that's donating the paint to paint the shed, so that doesn't even have to come out of the cost of the grant. And we sat with Dave for a while the other day, and having someone that knows the ins and the outs really helped. Hey, do this instead of this. This is a much better way to go about it. So it'll be a fun partnership as we do it. We'll take pictures along the way, and we've had numerous conversations in the last week. We couldn't announce anything publicly until today. I sent a press release out. I'll share it on social media. Danny's already said he's going to reshare that for us. So very, very nice. Like I said, we're one of 100 in the country. There were thousands of applications.
Very nice.
So
very exciting.
thank you, sir.
Good to be part of it. I can't
Thank you.
wait.
Did we get a picture?
Jeremy's got it.
Oh my gosh, you're looming.
He was sneaking in the background.
All
We
right,
have a
awesome.
very good police chief.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you all very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Look forward to what we're going to accomplish.
All right. Yeah, perfect.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now citizens input.
Well, it was part of it. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is anyone here who is not on the agenda that would like to speak?
Thank
You
you.
can have,
Right, Justin, I know that
okay,
indicated he'd be here, so.
thank you.
Thank you. And then you have something, Eagle?
We have 3 minutes.
Yep.
All right,
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Justin Huffman, Sergeant Bluff resident. I I'm here to speak on flock ALPR cameras in our community. For the last 15 years, I've worked in information technology and telecommunications. I'm here to ask for one thing plainly, let's remove the flock ALPR cameras. The license plate surveillance at Sergeant Bluff and put nothing up to replace it. These are not ordinary security cameras. They are part of a corporate surveillance system operated by a venture-backed, multi-billion-dollar private company based out of Georgia. They scan every license plate, record where your vehicle was and where it went, and store that information in a nationwide searchable database that is shared far beyond this community. Law-abiding residents are tracked driving to church, to work, to school, to the doctors, anywhere. Even all of us tonight attending this meeting can be cataloged and correlated. No warrant, no suspicion, no way to opt out. Are we citizens or are we suspects? Cities across America are walking away from the flock ALPR technology because of civil liberty concerns, wrongful investigations caused by false alerts. Just last week in Brookfield, Wisconsin, on I-94, a vehicle was stopped for a vehicle match that was identified in flock system tied to a homicide. 2 people were forced out of the vehicle at gunpoint, only for Milwaukee PD to tell Brookfield police that the car wasn't the correct vehicle, all because Milwaukee PD forgot to remove the vehicle out of the system. What if this is one of us? Any one of us, not just here, anywhere in the country that could have happened to you. Traveling with your family on vacation and your vehicle was stopped on the interstate with your hands up. Supporters will say, if you aren't doing anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about. Ask that to the people. Ask them, what if that was you? If you didn't do anything wrong, what do you got to worry about? I also have major concerns when these private donations dry up that are funded and taxpayer dollars are spent on private surveillance companies and the prospect of cost of litigation. People are struggling and eventually taxpayer dollars will be spent on subscription-based surveillance systems mounted on publicly funded infrastructure that tracks innocent citizens. Whether the people support flock or oppose it, the public deserves to know who chose surveillance over responsible government. Nearly every plate these cameras scan belonged to someone suspected of no crime. As of today in Sergeant Bluff, 71,464 unique plates were scanned in the last 30 days, in which 2,205 of those flagged as a hot list. 97% of us are innocent citizens being tracked and cataloged for 30 days, a 30-day diary of your movements. Not to mention the percentage of crimes solved is found in that 3%, which is a fraction of the 3%. The system's primary function is to collect data on innocent people. The Fourth Amendment was written to stop this exact kind of dragnet. Just this past June, the Supreme Court in Chattree versus United States ruled that obtaining a person's location history is a search because Americans have a reasonable expectation to the privacy of record of movement. License plate data reveals where you go, who you see, and how you live. The government should not keep records of innocent people's movements. This system is also ripe for abuse, and that danger is not hypothetical. Numerous cases of misuse and abuse of this system is upon us, and real issues are popping up nationwide, not misconceptions. Rules, access controls, and audits do not stop this. They only document it afterwards. Better rules are not enough. The only reliable protection is to remove the system. Take them down. Without privacy, there is no freedom. So I will leave you with this. Taxpayers did not vote for this Aesopian private surveillance network or a Fourth Amendment worn down to nothing. Remove these cameras and end the corporate mass surveillance system. Our constitutional rights are not for sale. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Eagle Armstrong, Sergeant Bluff. And I don't have the details put together like Justin, but I'm also here to talk about the flock cameras and my concerns on them. Especially the ones that have the heads that move, right? So I don't know the names of those, but just today as an example, I'm going right down by the school, right? And they're turned at 180 degrees to the road. So all those houses that have their kids playing in the backyard, that's all visible. to anybody that wants to hack in there, which they're easily hacked, from my understanding. I'm not a technology person, but they're also easily abused. I respect that man over there in the corner because I can look at him, I can talk to him, I can shake his hand, I can eyeball him, right? There's been 2 cases in the last week where there haven't been honest people with integrity that have logged into the system and used them for abusive purposes, their own personal reasons, whatever that is, in different parts of the country. I think one was Florida, one was Arizona. you guys, we all got Google, right? And so these cameras have technologies to track your Bluetooth frequencies. They have technologies to track your facial recognitions. If I take my car and put a different license plates on it, they're able to tell it's not my license plate because my car has a chip in the window. So that kind of technology with a movable head in somebody's backyard, the one is actually pointing directly in somebody's back window. If I'm doing that to a private residence on a public street, I would expect that man over there to be asking me questions, right? I'm not saying anybody's doing anything nefarious in the background, but nobody ever is until they do. And that's the concern. And I would definitely support the removal of the cameras, not because I'm doing anything wrong, but because I really don't want my kids tracked. I really don't need to be tracked for an unknown reason, right? I'd rather look at somebody, shake their hand and hear it straight from their mouth. So that's really all. I just wanted to sort of tag on. Justin and I had talked about it, and I said, absolutely, I'm going to come support that because I think there's serious concerns about the system, and I did not vote for it. I don't support it as a citizen. And I think if we're going to put up that type of mass surveillance in public, private business, do whatever you want, right? I don't need to go there, but I do need to come to City Hall from time to time. I shouldn't have to be justifying why I went this direction when something happens that might be tied to a 2014 Chevy Traverse, right? It wasn't me. So thanks for the time.
Thank
Shaggy,
you.
right?
Thank you. Now, have either one of you or both of you gone and talked to Chief and seen what they see?
I haven't met with you.
Okay,
I have not. So that's kind of the point, right? So Chief someday is gonna leave. Chief might get a bad apple in the bunch. We don't know who's right.
I meant what
Even in
the,
my own family, we got rotten apples.
what the
right?
cameras can see from, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And I don't think it's necessarily what's turned on locally. There might be some things that are turned on locally, but Flock as a company can log into any one of those at any point and do anything that they want. That's the scary part. So a person in New Jersey who may not even work for Flock can hit that data center. Probably bad word around here. And log into that data center and see what my kids in Sergeant Bluff, Iowa, do, right? There's that, it's a serious problem. That's technology, so. I have not seen it, but it's more overarching than individuals.
Oh, no, I just, what the actual
Yeah.
visual of the camera was. That's all I was asking. So, okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
You wanting to speak too? Yeah.
Thank you. My name's Don Dunning. I'm a resident here, Sergeant Bluff. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been here for 20 years now. I want to frame, I have a couple pages here. I'm just gonna frame what the issue is that I want to talk to you about by asking the question, what do towns do for citizens that they cannot do for themselves? Towns provide many things that individual citizens cannot do on their own or can do much more effectively by working together. Economists call these public goods or shared services. Some key examples include public safety, organizing and funding police, fire departments, and emergency medical services that protect everyone. Infrastructure, they provide buildings and maintain roads, bridges, sidewalks, street lights, traffic signals, and stormwater systems. Water and sanitation, cities provide clean drinking water, sewer systems, wastewater treatment, and garbage collection. Land use and planning, creating zoning rules and building codes to help ensure homes businesses and industries can coexist safely. Parks and recreation, they maintain parks, playgrounds, sports facilities, libraries, and community centers that everyone can use. Dispute resolution in local laws, they establish and enforce ordinances that help neighbors resolve conflicts and maintain community standards. The underlying reason towns exist is many of these services have characteristics that make individual action impractical. They benefit everyone, even those who don't directly pay for them, for example, fire protection or streetlights. They require large, coordinated investments that exceed what one person or family can reasonably provide. They work best when everyone follows the same rules, such as traffic laws or building safety codes. In short, towns allow citizens to pool resources through taxes and collective decision-making to provide services, infrastructure, and protections that will be difficult, inefficient, or impossible for individuals to provide on their own. So I have a council request for a community assessment of the declining maple trees in Sergeant Bluff. Over the past 20 years, I've planted 4 maple trees and 1 oak on my property. The oak died after approximately 4 years. 2 younger maples were diagnosed by a certified arborist with chlorosis, and they were treated with iron for several years as recommended. Despite these treatments, both trees continued to decline and eventually had to be removed. The 2 remaining trees are extremely compromised now. The symptoms follow a consistent progression. First, the leaves yellow. They don't get green in the spring. Progressive branch dieback follows that. Premature leaf loss, bark separating from the trunk, and eventual tree death. After noticing similar maple trees throughout Sergeant Bluff and numerous apparent formal maple locations now represented by stumps, I began to seek professional guidance. I contacted the Iowa State University Extension Office, the USDA Soil and Water Conservationist, the DNR Forestry Specialist, and a certified testing laboratory. Although each organization seemed helpful, none could identify a likely cause or recommend a coordinated investigation. My concern is that this may represent more than isolated tree failures. If multiple properties are experiencing similar losses, the cause could involve soil conditions, disease, insects, environmental stress, or another factor that could only be identified through a broader assessment. Because individual homeowners cannot reasonably be expected to investigate a community-wide pattern, I respectfully request that Sergeant Bluff's governing body consider conducting and sponsoring a survey of maple tree health within the community, consulting with a state forestry specialist or a university forestry or plant pathology department about our very evident problem, and then informs residents if a common cause is identified and providing guidance on prevention or treatment. I'm not asking Sergeant Bluff to assume any responsibility for trees on private property. Rather, I believe Sergeant Bluff can help determine whether a broader issue exists that affects the community as a whole. Thank you for your consideration.
Do you know, is there a certain area of town or is
It's,
it all over? I mean,
it's all over. I got this request from the USDA's office today too, so that's why I smiled. So yeah, they already, so I said, I'm gonna test my soil and then we could maybe go from there, but
And anecdotally, we have also had a maple tree die in our backyard.
yeah, so I said, I'll.
We have also had a maple tree not make
Oh,
it
have
in
you?
our backyard.
Well, that is a true statement, except 10 days ago, I live south of the high school. I rode my bicycle zigzag as much as I could through town.
Okay.
And I lost track of the stumps and the yellow trees. But the very north edge of town where it starts up into the hills, those maple trees are thriving.
Hmm.
So it's
Mhm.
something, and all these people agree that it's something,
Mhm.
and the way you get it done is soil testing,
Mhm.
but that could be very expensive. It could be as cheap as $75 or like more than 400. And for all these people to spend that same money, it just doesn't make sense. And this is the opportunity for the council to step up to the plate and maybe help out and find a fix for it and let everybody know.
Well, as a side note, I did authorize them to test my soil today, just today. And for that very thing, and then I said from there, then the city would know at least something, and then we could talk about if we needed to do further, so.
Who was it you contacted?
They contacted me. It was Alexandra Johnson with the yeah, so,
I keep business cards, that's how I know who I've contacted and whatever.
well, she maybe heard about it.
Oh, yeah, she said soil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
She contacted you randomly? Or did you?
Yeah,
Oh.
'cause she's my daughter.
Oh. All right, sorry, didn't make that. connection.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
randomly.
so she said,
I've got what I just read, a number of a DNR forester that I'll reach out to.
Yeah.
Just text somebody first.
Thank you.
So I'll reach out to them or help someone else reach out.
Thank you.
At least see what they gotta say.
Yeah.
What they can do.
Yeah, is it indicative of something bigger?
well,
Right.
ours,
That's probably-
Thank
we were cautioned when we planted them that they, you know, these hybrid maples, these sunset and all this are maybe not the best for
We
the
always can't
soil.
plant
but-
ash, we can't plant oak, we can't.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I have one other question, unrelated to what I was talking about. Just. South Ridge is where the compost is?
Yeah.
I don't drive it very often, but do we grade that at all? Yeah. Cavidra, it is terrible.
Well, there's a certain element that county, certain
Cause
element.
as soon as you turn the corner, where, I don't know who lives at the. When you're going north and the house in Crib, as soon as you turn the corner, it's smooth. I don't know. What, is that project still happening with the whole going through behind the gravel?
Alexander's, yeah.
Yeah.
Where that gets bid probably in December for next year's construction.
I was just curious, cause like I said, I don't,
Step on it, it just,
I know,
all those, spit trucks come down through there and they start
yeah,
slowing down,
that makes
and that
sense.
just chops it up
Yeah.
instantly.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks, good.
Thank you.
All right. That it? Julius, did you have anything?
They were here for the Lowe's thing, I suppose, huh? You didn't get in the picture.
I know. That's why I asked the. Approval of the consent agenda items, bills, check numbers 94041 to 94109. And ACH transactions 900000016 to 900000032 in the total amount of $380,292.65. I would entertain a motion to approve.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Thank you, Sharon.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ryan. There is a motion and a second. Any discussion? Having heard none, I will call it to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, discussion items. Number one, discussion and potential approval of parking lot community center. Thank you, Tulis.
Didn't bring copies of it. So EMC came through last year and did, their walkthroughs. They did the police department. They did the community center. Couple of little things were the handicap spots, the police station needed to have a bigger spot for the van. So we had to take out a parking spot and put yellow across there. The freezer at the Helping Hands had a little lip about 1/8 of an inch, so we had to grind that off. So little things. The big one that they have that they're telling us that we need to do is in front of the rec center. So my finger is the vestibule where you walk in at. And then there's the sidewalk here, and you know, the flagpole used to be there, if you remember, a long time ago. Then this is the concrete out front, very chopped up, very bad. Definitely does need to be redone. That alone came in at a bid of $20,650. So that's part one. Part two of that, though, is to actually fix it longer term. We need to put some drains in. There's one clear over here right now. It's over by the senior center. But we need to put 2 more drains in, and then they want to replace this concrete as well. That bid came in at $26,700. Staff is recommending that we do both pieces. We can do this one if money's tight, but you're gonna have the same problems of it cracking again if you don't have a place to get the water out of there. So we're recommending that we spend the $47,000 and do both pieces. Where we would take the money out of is we have road use tax dollars that are sitting there that are above the 25% that we keep as the expenses. We're a little bit higher than that, so we have the money to do that. The reason I'm asking for it out of there is I don't want to use our $100,000 that we fix streets with to do this. I want to use separate money because we still have a lot of streets to fix in town right now, so. That's why I'm coming to council to ask on this one. Okay, any questions?
Yes, the gutters that come off the roof, then would those drain into those?
Right now they come off the front, they would
Mhm.
drain into that as well, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And maybe it's because I'm new, but
Yep.
the road use dollars can be used for parking lot
Yep,
repairs
anything,
as
yep,
well.
anything with cement
Anything
type thing,
related
yep.
to a,
And storm drainage.
Storm drainage, all of it qualifies.
Who's the $26,000 bid from? Same
KP.
company,
KP, yep.
same ones?
Yep, both of them are from KP.
And that's just for putting in 2 drains?
That's all that concrete too. Tear all the concrete out, put new
We only
concrete
have
in.
one estimate.
Yeah, there's only one on our.
Yeah.
There's only one estimate.
Yeah, I did, yeah. There's probably just the first one for 20.
Right.
Yeah.
20,000.
And then that's just
So
for,
it's concrete work, drains and piles to get the
that's
drains.
the 20,000 is for this one. We need to do this one because EMC is telling us we need to do this or they won't insure us. That's no point.
Well,
All right.
that's the insurance company.
Not quite that threat, but that's
Yeah.
kind of the idea behind it. The 26 then covers the remaining of it, which will then. Sorry, we just made these at the very end. The 26 allows us to keep going to get the drains, to get the water out, and that will run over to the east.
Right.
The fire department, driveway is over here. So this has got to be done. We're saying we think we should do all this and put the drains in so that the water gets away from the whole parking lot itself.
So we don't have to do it again.
So you don't have to do it again. We can do just one. I have no problem with that. It's just
We
that.
just did that, what, 5 years ago? It hasn't been that long since we took out that flagpole.
and when it was done before, was it 6 or 8 inch concrete? Because this says there is the option of deducting.
Yep,
That
I think we can get by with
$3,400.
6-inch concrete. I don't
So you
think
can
we need
deduct
8 inch.
3412 on
Right.
it, but if we just want the 6 inch.
But that patch is not completely from the east to the west. It's only,
Say it one more time, I'm sorry.
The $20,000 patch?
yeah.
The 20,000 one is just in the middle. Here's the vestibule. It goes a little bit on the Union,
Mm-hmm.
on the Legion side and a little bit on our side.
And the left and the right side of that is okay?
No, this would be the right side of it. This
Yeah.
would go clear over to the senior center.
But he's saying the condition of the concrete on the east one is fine, it's just.
No,
in the-
oh no, the concrete's bad over here
Yeah,
too.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the only one that EMC is making us do because that's where everybody walks in at. This concrete is all chipped up and in terrible shape. It needs to be redone as well at some point.
Is the Legion gonna help us out?
I doubt it.
Well, nothing's in front of the Legion right now.
Mhm.
'Cause everything's
Just barely
on
up.
our side now.
So,
Well, they use that walkway to get into the vestibule too, but.
I mean, 17,000 is better than 20,000, so if you deduct that 3,000 off.
So would there be a deduct if we go
That's good.
6 inch on the second phase then too?
yes, I'm sure there would be.
3,000.
Yep, deduct of 31, I'm sorry, you guys don't have that. Yeah, the deduct of 3150
So zero.
for 6, so you're
Mine
back
shows
down to
0.
23.
43,
But
40.
it, they,
Well,
it says it, there's a
Sure,
lot.
together.
Think about sick off, yep.
It does, it doesn't. Show that up.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a line there.
Oh,
It doesn't-
did I?
it doesn't
Okay,
take
got
it
it.
off.
Yep, sorry.
Do you, you guys know what I'm talking about
Yep,
now, or
got
am
it.
I confusing you a little bit?
8 inches would be that amount.
Right, and it deducts 6, so. Or 3,000.
I think 6 is,
I'm not an engineer, but I'm gonna guess 6 is good enough for a parking. We don't bring a bunch of semis in there that are super heavy. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean. You're always. I'm an engineer, I design it thicker, so.
Yeah.
You wanna do
The,
that, but-
the extension one, is that 6 inches as well?
Yep, well, I would really
there's a
recommend that.
deduct.
Well, but for the, I don't, like you said, I
Yeah,
don't. see
I apologize, I didn't have that on.
And is it 6 inches now or 8?
I would imagine it's,
I don't know, I'm not sure, but it's that was built in 2001. Sure when that was.
So it hasn't been replaced since 2001? I thought you just said.
the front of it was where
Where the flag.
They
Just
took
where
the
the
I
flag.
think right in front of here was all redone,
Okay.
and then this out here is just
Okay.
all tearing apart. So,
Yeah, that's probably original concrete, because that's what you're asking
Yeah.
about.
Right.
What you're repairing is probably original to.
could be, I don't have an idea. And we're willing to do either one, we're just saying fixing one will not fix the problem long term. We recommend fixing the problem long term and being done with it, so.
Now, there are cars that drive up there. I don't know if we want them to be driving up there, but
Yeah,
people
cars
do drive up and unload.
Cars aren't super heavy,
It's not gonna
it'd
be
be
bad.
more semi-traffic
Okay.
you would load in there, but I don't think they get any semi deliveries for anything anymore, so.
With events that are hosted there, would that ever be a situation there where there would be like things being dropped off, you know?
Could be, but I
Probably
don't see any
semis.
big semi type stuff, you know, you're gonna have the gun show, I think is one of the bigger ones, that's probably got some heavier stuff, maybe there's a train. I don't know, trains have a lot of weight, I don't see a lot of weight. So.
Any other questions?
I'm just thinking if we're gonna use road use tax. That's well over our contingency. It may be worth going with 8 inch.
That's-
It still gets us still keeps our. Contingency of 25%, right? So I guess I could go either way.
We're well above 25%.
So if we go with the heavier option, we're still okay, right?
Way all right. I'm planning on bringing back a couple other projects, the one that Kirk's asked about for Airview and one for
Then
community center to Warrior 175, bringing those back as overlays. I still think we can probably get some of those done possibly this year as well, so.
I'm kind of with you, Ryan, to save $3,400, why not
well, it's times 2.
times 2?
So you're looking 7,000.
In theory, it'll last longer and
Well, in theory, it shouldn't happen again if we put the drains in and get the.
That's
water away from
that's
there.
the goal behind it.
That's the goal.
I know the theories, but. You know.
It's concrete too, right?
Yeah,
It's just concrete. What do you
No,
do?
I'm kind of drawing a blank. The gutters right now, did they go down and underneath the sidewalks? Or do they just go across the sidewalk?
Across the sidewalk and out.
No, yeah. And that's why it's all slippery.
I know, it's awful. Is there any way there, you'd have to tear that up to get them under, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sidewalk and all would have to come up for that. When you get down by the senior center, they do come under
Okay.
the sidewalk itself, but right there at the entrance, they run right across it.
But we could, they don't go all the way, but we could extend them all the way.
We'll make sure they get the drainage tubes for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
right, well, I'd entertain a motion for either, both, all four options.
I agree we should do it. I just don't know which option's the best, I guess. I mean, we still have our reserves. We're still got plenty of reserve. If we're gonna do it, let's do it right the first time, but it may fix it just with the drains and the 6-inch. So I'm good either way.
Me too.
Same.
Same.
Somebody pick away.
Way to be wishy-washy.
Yeah, go.
Aaron, you're the engineer, what do you recommend,
Yeah.
I'd say the 8. Especially for replacing concrete, usually what we like to do in the, if you're replacing a roadway, you go an inch thicker. So even if it is 6 inches, I'd go the 8.
I would make that motion to go with the 8-inch concrete for both of those two projects that Jason described.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other chatter? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you both, everyone. All right, City Administrator and Personnel Committee presentation of reestablishing the Public Works Director position. This is conversation, or are you looking
Yeah,
for?
we don't have to
director?
vote on
What are you
anything
looking
tonight
for?
if you don't want to. That's why it's 2 separate items. I do have to apologize to Mark a little bit by putting him in the loop. We talked about public works position in general, but I think maybe he was on vacation when we talked more about how that would look. But
Okay.
So you probably missed one of our meetings in Iceland, but so yeah, so where this started from is really Mike Bennett retired as our lead lineman, licensed journeyman electrician, a lot of experience. We've been talking about this idea, just hadn't brought it to the last budget meeting or budgets season. But when Mike retired, then John Robinson, not if I want too much public, but just basically said, I'm a few years out. I could go in pretty much a year or two. Gave us a little bit of a pucker factor. Now that was probably June, July, and more close to June. That's John is basically the technical resource that we have in public works. So when Mark Huntley retired as public works director, the decision was made to not fill the public works director. It was to add more to what Jason was doing in terms of just finance, add the public works oversight, but within Mark's scope of where part of his administration duties got shifted to Jesse Kneipel's position. The more of the technical duties that Mark was at were shifted to the field crew position, and then more of the budgetary project supervisory management part of what Mark was doing then was added to Jason's duty. So it's kind of a two-headed monster. So with John leaving sometime in the next 2 years, it just kind of pucker factored a little bit of what are we doing for a succession plan? How do we prepare for the next? Because Jason has basically said, I can do what I can do with JR, but I don't know all the technical stuff. So if we aren't thinking ahead, we're probably going to be behind. So, whether John would want to apply for it or not, or an outside person comes in to be able to use that year or two with John's expertise to be able to be useful, going forward. Because once John's not there, we don't have that full, someone that understands the electric and the water and the sewer and the streets and the lift stations. So that's the mindset that we're taking. So, yeah, the thought would be, or what we're proposing would be to reinstate the Public Works Director position. Jason would still be the one that the Public Works Director reports to. Jason would still be doing contractual items and tracking of projects and that from the office. He would that position would relocate to City Hall. He would pick up the fixed assets that Danny just loves to deal with. Provide some back support for payroll. And a lot of it is, and it was a warning from probably Bill Gockel and you. He doesn't have the bandwidth of time that we need in the finance piece. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day. And so when you're talking complaints on roads that are rough, I guess Justin left, but taking calls from the public to answer them, it takes away. And the state legislature's made a bunch of changes, trying to keep up with those. Some of the things tracking TIF and some other things. There's more and more rules every year, it seems. They don't take them away from the finance and audit. So I guess we need him more focused on the financial piece, which hits all. And there's some of the individual departments, he would be able to use more time to do that. So it's kind of a two phase or two job descriptions that get affected. But we just don't, I mean, eventually we're going to need to get the Public Works Director position reinstated, just the way things are looking. It'd be nice to be proactive and be working on that now while we have a known entity. We're hopeful that he would apply, but I mean, it would be open to all. He definitely has the tools, but even if he's not, if he doesn't apply, he's got that technical expertise to help the new. So that's kind of where we were at. Like I said, most of that part affecting the assistant city administrator, you weren't involved with as much of that, but the concept of the succession planning, make sure we're not caught with our pants down, I guess. So, I don't know. Does any of that make sense, or is there more questions than answers? When we made the decision to basically eliminate the Public Works Director, that was about a $91,000 a year job. I think Jason's went up 19,500. So we'd be proposing on the Public Works Director, but at $95,000 to $97,000 range, which is right around where the fire chief is.
So would the Public Works Director position go back to what it was when Mark had it, or is it still different? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as far as the technical piece I think what would happen, Jesse's still gonna be doing her stuff as far as the clerk.
Well, she was doing that though before.
She was doing some of it. She
before
picked
Mark
up
left.
some extra duties
Okay.
that he was handling, but it probably wasn't earth shattering stuff, but I mean, it was important
Mhm.
to take off his plate. But maybe the one thing that might decrease a little bit is what the crew chief would have to do. Because right now the crew chief's doing a lot of the technical, so maybe that.
So is John
Hype
the crew chief?
He is the crew
Okay.
chief. Yep.
Yeah, we need a dry erase board.
I know.
I don't know the hierarchy of.
Right, exactly.
public
Yeah.
Right.
department.
Oh, I get, yeah. So assistant city administrator is the public director of it. Supervisory, discipline, management of high-end man. He's not, that position is not delegating the day-to-day tasks of the crews. The crew chief is underneath him. That's John. And he's making sure the big picture things that the public works director needs done over the course of the week or month, that John's in the day-to-day, making sure the trainings are there, safety trainings for the guys. And then you have a lead lineman that's not also under the assistant city administrator of public works. But they do take some direction from the crew chief, but they kind of have their own, it's electric departments that's own. So when the electric department folks need to plow streets or maybe help with this special project, then John's doing that. And then you have your maintenance people and your electricians. Am I missing something?
What? My question is, we have a long history of public works. Why was this, it's probably before anybody but Ron was on the council, but why was it eliminated? I mean, we've had Groves, we've had Huntley,
I
and
know.
before
It
Groves
was-
or somebody else. Why was it eliminated?
Money.
We were only
It
growing.
it was probably dollars and cents. We wanted to add another worker bee. That was the other part of it. So we went down the 93 or 91,000, but then we hired like a $60,000 maintenance guy. So we could have an extra to get to your point. We're growing, we got more things to do. So we did, at that point, our maintenance division went up by one person, worker bee.
But salary wise, you didn't really save anything between Jason's bump and this worker. You're
It's been
talking
30,
90,000.
yeah, 91,
25 and change.
91 less 60, less the 19.5. Yeah. I guess it wasn't, yeah. It wasn't.
It wasn't huge.
Did Mark do all the human resources and supervision of employees or at that time?
Of the public works
Yes.
folks, yeah, he would handle some of that, and then if it was something bigger, then I'd get involved, or if we had to get the union involved.
But it wasn't citywide. It was just.
Right, just that
Just
department.
public works
Right,
HR,
right.
whereas Jason does citywide HR.
Right, but we gave Jason's position all those duties from Public Works, right? And that's why we gave the bump.
No, HR, economic development.
Yes, that's why I got the bump, is picking up Mark's stuff that
Right.
nobody else could do, because John was still part of the union. He couldn't discipline over there or anything like that.
Okay, that's what you're getting at. Okay, maybe I misunderstood the question.
But it
This is
also,
very clear.
my point was, there was other HR throughout the rest of the city that he also took on that he wasn't doing before. That also was included.
Who was doing that at the time?
Three-headed monster probably in some ways. I mean, Danny does some with onboarding
Yeah,
paperwork
yeah,
and,
yeah. But
yeah, as far as the disciplinary.
Is John still considered union right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if it's significant enough change, if you need more information, we need to come back. I don't want to force any kind of a thing if you're not
Yeah,
comfortable.
if you could, just kind of the history of the position before and what they were doing and what happened between when Huntley retired and today and.
Well, I mean, to your point, to your question, I think when Gockel was probably in that chair.
over there,
Oh, well, I don't know, who knows? It might have been here. I can't remember, but
Wherever.
no,
cause you replaced his empty position, didn't you? Or was that right? Anyway,
But not.
his opinion was, I don't know that this is a long-term best interest for the city, basically because of the types of duties that
Mhm.
they become very intense over time.
That's what I was thinking about, because like to look for someone who's doing everything that Jason's doing. Like, that's a lot of different kinds of things too, and I don't know, just. I think,
Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to be long. It was
It
been 5
wasn't.
years. It's been
it was
5 years.
not, it was not designed, in my mind, it was never designed as a long-term thing.
and
It was to allow another person to be hired and the work still get done. Is kind of how it was presented to me. So,
Well, then we've had other positions that we've added
Mhm.
that seem to take more priority. And
So
I mean,
my next question too is, with as tight as we run things, how are we gonna generate another $100,000 salary?
mhm.
You know, by the time you get diapers and insurance and everything that goes on top of just the actual cash salary.
Yeah,
I mean,
Well-
we're just starting a new fiscal year here, we're just a month ago.
Yeah.
You know, I think we all went through, in last budget season, and I know I ask every department if they need help, how they're doing, and everybody said, everything's good. We're on this plan, and And then it's just kind of a, when we get halfway in July or August again, all of a sudden this pops up and we need this, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I think some of my concern is coming from, it's just,
Yeah.
we're running things tight and all of a sudden here we gotta come up with another 100,000 for another salary.
Yeah, and I don't think, and I don't know that it's that much, but yeah, it's significant, yeah, I mean, it's probably at least 75 when you know, you're a kid, it depends on who you hire,
Well, if we
You
want
know,
anybody good, we're gonna have to pay
because
for somebody good.
yeah,
We're
but
gonna
the
get what we pay
union,
for.
the union wages will be what whoever backfills, that's a set
Right.
thing, and you come in at a,
I mean, you, like, to Kirk's point, it is approximately $100,000
yeah.
Yeah.
bottom line hit.
Insurance, diapers, everything else. that
Yeah.
goes into it.
To the overall budget is what
Yeah.
you're talking.
Yeah,
If the stars line up and if John was to take this for 2 years or 3 years, would you backfill his position?
Yeah, we need to have public works director and a crew chief. You know, And I hate to talk about it as a certainty, but I mean, if that were to happen, I mean, he's got all of the credentials that more than likely whoever would be hired in that crew chief position would be a lesser salary than he's making.
Now, I'm just gonna throw this out here too, and,
Yep.
and nothing against JR, love him, he's great, he's fabulous for the city, but would we wanna hire somebody for that position if we know where they're gonna retire in 2 years? Or bring in somebody that can learn, and so when he retires, they can keep on going, so we don't have to start the process all over again
I think that's why you post it.
that day JR retires.
Yeah,
And then, well, didn't he turn it down after Huntley retired? Because he didn't
No.
want to leave the union.
it was actually before that. I thought what you just said was correct, but it was actually before that. We were trying to get him to be more of to get out of the union as far as kind of a little higher than the crew chief, maybe kind of parallel to an assistant police chief. And he didn't want to come out of that. Yeah, if I said that in the past, I had that wrong. I got corrected.
Okay.
But yeah, we didn't ask him when Huntley retired. We assumed. They don't want to be out of the union, don't want to be out of the union. Okay, well, so you know what happens when you assume sometimes. So,
That's kind of why I think, I don't know how everybody else feels, just more information, job
Yeah.
descriptions, titles, and
I can do that.
let's just figure this out.
Is there a real push time-wise to make this happen now, rather than wait till next budget season?
Well, I don't, I guess based on what John has told us, the more you wait, the less we may have a chance to have him. That's.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think he's saying that. I just think that we know that at any point he could go.
Right.
And, to try to get as much out of that as we can would be.
are we looking to try and do something? Try to have someone hired in September or whatever, and no, I mean, that's. And the further into the budget year, the less impact it has. I mean, the $100,000 number. We're already gonna be 2 months, 3 months into the fiscal year, so that number goes.
Is that why you're saying here under salaries and duties impact, the impact of fiscal 2027 is 60 to 73? Because we're talking about,
We're already 16%.
if we hire them October to next July.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to do, but sometimes I get numbers and I know what I'm talking about, but
Kind of crapshoot.
I can confuse people unintentionally. I mean, not that, I confuse myself sometimes, but yeah, so I can do that. Kind of job description of both, little more numbers.
And just kind of, just like somebody said, we need a dry erase board. I don't know how many of us are familiar with Public Works, who does what, what's their responsibilities, what happens if we have to cross over. I mean, I've lived here for 50-some years and I know JR, Jason.
Go from over there? Oh geez, we gotta get you a tour over there then.
I just don't,
Yeah.
it doesn't come up to us here at the council level. We just don't know.
Yeah, true.
We have any
As far as
workings
the-
of
You're talking
Public
about,
Works Department, you know,
Gotcha.
so the electric guys come in on a blizzard, gonna help drive plows.
Yep.
I don't know any of that. Did you know any of that?
I do.
I've offered to come drive a plow, but Jason says no.
It is really interesting to do, like, I did a tour when I very first started and Jason kind of took me around and like, it was I don't remember all of it, but I did find it extremely helpful, just
Yeah,
in getting a
yeah.
better handle on what Public Works even involves.
They're all gone. Is that the card
You
game?
don't leave till 3:10.
Oh,
Are we or have we replaced Mike Bennett's position?
We have 1,000-hour man that is still in for that spot right now. You remember that?
The guy
The
we hired a
apprentice.
year ago?
No,
No,
no, new
yeah.
one.
We
Another,
just got a new 1,000-hour man
Okay.
just recently. He should be out in November, December. He'll be through his 1,000 hours. So Jeremy's got 4 people. Jeremy moved up to the crew chief, so he's got his full
Our
4
lead
people,
lineman.
but a lot of young people there.
But the 1,000, your current, well, none of them are electricians, so none of them really fill Bennett's spot.
Yeah, that's the problem. We don't have the electricians either.
and how are we gonna fix that?
We just have that apprentice.
We need to fix it at some point, yeah.
Well, you say electrician, you're talking the linemen that need to be out there. We have a journeyman, that's not
Right.
Jeremy. You're talking
We'd still like to have an electrician.
electrician, like
Something.
inside work and.
have we filled Dan Hosper's position?
Yeah, Jesse Hanson took the water plant.
Yeah, and then who's Jared?
And then we just got a new person, Jared from Jackson, Minnesota County. Worked for the Jackson, Minnesota County. So
Okay,
he's familiar with all the heavy equipment and all that stuff.
okay.
So if we hire this public works director, are your duties changing at all?
My duties will be a lot less at Public Works. I don't have to be the day-to-day help JR. I would be the guy over here that if JR has a problem, he can go over and ask me the question. And then all my accounting stuff still applies, and then picking up some of Danny's stuff and helping out the other part of accounting. That's we're doing it. We're just not, we're doing the minimums. So it'd be better to do a little bit more accounting stuff. We don't double check billings to make sure we're billing things correctly. And we're billing correctly, but what could we be missing? What could we be looking for?
More controls. We should have more controls.
Yep.
And to your point, Aaron, about what you said before about like keeping on top of all the TIF and all the legal, the state requirements that are changing constantly and just like being on top of all of that.
Well, aren't we coming up with a commercial tax abatement program? Did we talk about that? Got a meeting?
Like that piece of things,
talked about
like
it,
I
but we
feel
haven't
like
done
there
it.
could be
Yeah, I guess we'll just.
We've talked about talking about it.
probably
Yeah.
a lot of things.
We talked
that-
about a lot of.
We talked about a lot of stuff.
Probably a lot of things that you would
Yep.
find that could have needed to be done, but just haven't been.
There's plenty, yep.
Well,
And then,
like,
like right now, with everything that goes on over there, there's a lot of prep work for the audit that we hire them to help me get ready. There's just not the time to do it. We would get rid of that help and I would be able to pick that up as I learn. And that's to the tune of 15 to 20 grand right there.
so your daily work would not decrease. It would just change in what it was,
Just changing what you're doing, yeah.
right?
So if we get, just ask you this too, Jason.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if we hire a public works director and you come over here and divide more time into the stuff that we're talking about, I mean, is it the stuff that that we're hiring out to do now to help fill in that we could save money on the backside, or
The audit prep is the big
Audit.
one.
is that, okay?
That would be the biggest piece that we can do.
So I'm just looking how that salary, what we can, if we're gonna pull for this position, what's gonna save us on the backside,
Yep.
so we don't have to go back through and raise taxes and
Don't
do
understand.
any of that nasty stuff. So,
And I mean, Danny's pretty busy person.
yeah,
And I think picking up some of that stuff off of his accounting plate will help him as well. So it's, you gotta look at everybody involved, not just those two positions. There's a lot that gets changed with some of that.
Well, and you also, sorry, Sherry,
It's fine.
you had also indicated that Danny doesn't have a backup.
My fear is that if Jeanette's gone and you have, utility billing due and payroll due, Danny's one man can't show what he did. It's just a lot for one person to do. And I don't speak for Danny. I mean, it's just.
No,
Would it be nice to have some help? I mean,
is when that happens, yes.
I feel bad for Danny already. I mean, when we get our
Yeah,
council,
okay.
when we get our council agenda, Friday night at 6:15, he's still here working
That's-
past 5 just to get caught back up. I mean, and that's happens more than not when those come out. And I'm sure he's not pushing it that part of the day just to, because he wants to push it to Friday at 6:15, but you know,
When there's a dog hearings.
yeah, so, yeah, if just,
That's that.
I have to think too, once, if Jason had less public works and is able to focus more time on these things, not only would there be the audit piece that we'd be saving that you're farming out now, but I have to think if you had time to really like dig into things, there might be ways that things could be streamlined. There could be more efficient processes. Like sometimes when you're busy, you do the things you do just because like that's the way we've always done it. And it just is like easier than figuring out a new system. But if you have the time to devote to that, and I really think I would have to think you could realize benefits in other areas too. So it makes sense in many ways.
I'll bring back job descriptions, I'll bring back.
Yeah,
dollars and
what all
try to
does
put
he
something
need
together with
to prepare?
Job description is a big, I guess, an overview
The
of
overview,
how the public works look, maybe
Yeah.
just the history of
the job.
between now and then.
Roger, that's just, I could think
Roger,
of the
yeah.
first name for it ever. I think if I'm taking from the kind of organizational structure.
Mhm.
Right, it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, org chart.
Org chart would
Yeah.
be good, but I mean, I don't, do you want to go all the way to what the duties are for each of those positions? Or is the summary good enough? Okay.
Lineman
Okay.
report to.
I just want to make
Yeah,
sure
that
everybody
helps.
gets all the information they need. So anything else that would help?
Yeah, you know, it's different than chief coming in saying, hey, I need another officer in the year. So, okay, we know what that's all about. Versus a lineman or then the lineman's gonna do this and then that and.
Yep.
Not saying police is easy, but a policeman's a policeman, right?
Anything else? All right, so how do we get rid of C?
You
You just
table it maybe. I don't know.
Well, table, I don't know.
that what we need to
I
do?
don't know if that's the right
I don't
term.
think we didn't, it's not an action item, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It was just discussion action item.
Yeah.
I don't know.
C says approval.
I feel like it's pending B.
Yeah.
You just put no action taken.
No
I've
action.
done that
There you
before.
go. I like it. All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
You have
moving
a
on.
second on that one?
Yeah.
Action taken.
I think it was a joke.
I just want to, well, I just want to make sure everybody was comfortable before we moved on. That's all.
Yeah.
So, all right. City administrators report.
Yeah. Yep, got the whole report here, got some things highlighted, so the chamber dinner is gonna be September 24th, we have 8 tickets, so be thinking about if you wanna go to that. I think it's Frank Caliendo, kind of a different twist this
It
year.
is.
Just keep that, I guess, on the Chamber of Commerce. That is that a Thursday?
Usually is.
Thursday.
Yeah, there's a VIP because of the sponsorship we've done every year. There's a VIP piece before and then dinner event after. So, yeah, the other thing with the chamber, I did not get the dinner registered for the 13th for tomorrow for
The
that
luncheon?
tourism one.
Thursday?
It wasn't the tri-state governor one.
Right, no, but
So-
Thursdays were not in.
Right.
Okay, yeah. See,
You're
so
planning to go.
you're free and clear on Thursday then.
Sergeant Bluff Community Development Corporation, that's a big one. They've been operating on their executive committee and have reinstituted their whole board, so hopefully they'll be working on some big things. They've got a 2-acre lot that they're gonna have available to sell. They've been working with Hamato, who owns the south side of Dogwood, trying to help them. So I just think it's a that's a good thing, getting those, they were kind of silent for a while. Maybe most of you don't even know what this SBCDC was, because
I don't
They-
know who's on it. I'd be curious about who's on it.
I could send you that.
Yeah, would you?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is that posted? It should be posted, is it?
Well, they're not, it's not a public meetings organization.
Okay.
It's a 501(c)(3), but.
Right,
arm's
but I
length.
just thought it was out there.
You mean on
Anyway,
the
go
city
ahead.
website?
Oh,
I
on the
thought
city
so.
website?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there
thought
is.
it was.
Yeah,
Member list.
I don't think the member list.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I think we'll be able to put it on there. Tomorrow, Jason and JR and I looking at the 60% plans design with DGR on C Street, West Ridge. Justin mentioned that one earlier. And back to school night, I know it's not a city thing necessarily, but on the 19th, so Scooter Magruder, we have to, they will have a table. Would Travis be able to be at the middle school?
Yeah.
Is he gonna plan to do one of them or? Okay. Yeah, I can get with you more on that, yeah, but, safe route to school map will be up, we'll have stuff on the scooters available, so.
And the library will have a presence as well.
Library will have a presence, yes, and you're gonna help man the or woman the table, whatever,
At the
primary,
elementary.
elementary.
And the library and safe routes can also have a presence at the primary.
Has the safe routes changed the map over the last?
We're gonna add the Warrior sidewalk, so that's half done, poured, it's all prepared, so we have from Kingston Meadows out to Lewis Boulevard. There you go.
It's fine. It's there. Just kind of said.
Along the north side of Warrior, it's been a sidewalk we've been wanting to connect for a long time, especially with Serenity, so that's half poured and hopefully the rest of, well,
Probably next week.
weather
Right.
permitting, yeah, so. But it'll be walkable by the time school starts, so it'll be a good thing. Unless there's. Yeah, anything out there? Joe Yoakum had resigned to take some. Going after a passion, he's a police officer and wants to do some teaching and things, so he's gonna be done Friday, doesn't want a lot of hoopla, so we've got that advertisement out, and then the police officers, we do have an advertisement out, but it's not to fill a position at this time, but it's the process to test and all that, it takes a while, so we get them all prepped and on a list, so that when we do get a retirement or a resignation, then we're ready to hire. So if you've seen that out there, it's not like we're adding a police officer, it's just filling up our waiting list, so. That's what I got.
I forget, is Airview in the budget
No.
for this year?
Yeah, Interview is not in the budget this year.
It is or
Is not.
it's not?
We talked about it at budget time, but
Talked
it
about
wasn't
that.
assigned,
Put
but
it in.
what's that?
What?
What?
I do have a bid back on that now. So I'll be talking to Kirk about that later. And giving him a couple options of, as a streets person, I thought I'd talk to him first. Let him kind of guide which way he wants to go.
Gravel.
But
I'm around all next week. You want to talk about franchise?
yes, I do.
Okay.
I will reach out to Pam.
Okay.
I think Joe's back now, so today.
Right.
So, yep. You aren't going in?
I'm going for a while.
Mhm. Anyone else have anything they would like to chat about? Go ahead with your Marcia.
I think we should just note our sympathies and condolences to the family of Marcia Scholl for her passing and all of her good work she did with the food pantry over the years. I think it's extremely commendable.
In the school.
And the school, right? She's
Yeah.
very, very active in the community and
Yeah.
Have you heard anything from the Helping Hands, who's taking
No.
over or anything?
No.
You just, okay, I have not,
it's fairly quick. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
yeah,
And they're probably just gonna see if anybody's gonna step up.
yeah.
I would probably just say, thank you, even though I think there's one more of them left, but the market events that have been happening on Sunday nights, just a shout out to Laura Johnson and all the people involved with that, because it seems like it's been such a good thing for the community.
Yeah, with Pioneer Valley Days.
And Pioneer Valley.
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say.
She'll be the last.
Those are volunteers too, like everybody who's stepped up to really make those community events happen.
You see the playground's got its
Well, God, will be open tomorrow. We'll take the band job. tomorrow.
Yeah,
Exciting.
had to set up, had to set.
I certainly hope that's.
Don't make eye
Don't give
contact.
me a dirty look.
Jeez.
8 o'clock in the morning, right?
7:30.
7:30. Has the slick spot underneath the arches been taken care of?
Have they put a timer on those? Cause I see the lights aren't on the board.
Somebody shut the power off to them. So
How do they do
I
that?
hope they're just in all their glory this weekend for Pioneer
there's
Valley.
a switch in the shed there. You can flip the breaker. So somebody flips the breaker, shuts it off. So,
We're gonna remedy that situation, right?
yes, we got that. Yep.
I saw a post today from the community action team and climate weather for this weekend. Who's making that call?
So I was gonna be working with Anthony as well as Tyler, just
Okay.
to try to make that determination.
I just didn't know who was behind that.
Yeah, I kind of wish Anthony was here. He told me earlier today he's got a meteorologist on call. Oh, do you have an update for that?
Talking with the National Weather Service to give us an exact forecast and talk with us and be in contact so we can keep a real close eye on this, so we know if we have to move things, cancel things. So all that came out of that meeting we had with the National Weather Service that one day, so they're watching it for us closely.
Cool.
Yeah, it's because basically, if you know you have a community event, they're willing to, I didn't know
Especially
that.
outdoor events.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I never knew they did that.
Yeah, and he got a phone number of, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got it. He's got it.
Nice.
I never looked
Yep,
at
so
the forecast.
supposed to meet with him,
Awesome.
he was gonna meet with me Friday morning
Friday,
at some
Saturday,
point, so
Sunday.
that we can review.
Tornadoes, Friday, Saturday.
Figure out what's best.
Yeah, tomorrow, PBD kicks off, well, we've already had the golf outing, but tomorrow with the alumni softball, baseball tournament, right?
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting. I didn't water my lawn just so that it would not rain.
I did so. Cause if you water it, then it will.
I know, I didn't want it to rain, so that PBD didn't get.
Oh, I see. Okay. How about our parade? What time do you want us? Anywhere? 5:30?
Probably about 5:30 is usually all right.
Same old
At
spot.
Public Works.
Spot over there. at the Public Works. Jesse was gonna.
Am I handling that or you handle, because he's gonna be,
I will need. one
he's
of you
gonna
guys
be
to help me
organizing
because
the
I'll be
parade.
At the,
Handling what?
The
just a
truck
roll
and-
call,
truck?
just a roll call.
Get in.
And then.
Well, the roll call and all that good stuff.
Did
I should
Jesse
be
get
I
us
will need the
candy?
assistance with that.
Yep.
All right,
Yes.
Can you get us the new front end loader that we just bought? It's
Not-
Fit in the bucket.
It's very agitating. Don't bring that up right now.
Oh,
It's sitting up at the office. They haven't brought it to us. They told us it'd be last week or this week, and I'm like, spray it down here.
where is it?
Mid-country.
Oh, it's still sitting up there?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
anything else anybody wants to chat about?
Motion to adjourn.
Hold on, hold the phone,
Jeez.
hold the phone.
Did Ron want you to say
Ron
something?
asked me to let everyone know, first of all, to thank everyone for everything they did for yesterday's dog hearing. And it is our goal now to eliminate those from the ordinance. So then this would be something that would happen. Chief would take care of it and it would not come to us to make the decision. It would come up through his ranks and land on his plate. So that is the direction that we would like to go. So
For the hearings, okay, but what about breed specific? Was that?
I
wasn't
think
what
those
he
are
was-
two separate issues.
Okay.
Because there may be some people that want to talk breed specific, but he would like to eliminate the pit bull from being just a pit bull gets you kicked out. So did you have a comment?
No, I did talk with Ron, and I think it's a good idea, and the way that he and I discussed we'd handle this is we'd handle it no different than we handle disciplinary stuff in my office. It would go to the assistant chief. He'd make a decision, and then if somebody wanted to appeal that decision, it would go to me for the final verdict instead of coming here. So that way, it's something I don't think city council should have to deal with.
Sarah spoke about that, just how that,
Yep.
that really takes the judiciary piece off council, and how that really can be an advantageous.
Mhm.
I would agree.
It'd be nice.
To get that hour back.
I don't know if I, yeah. That's fine.
Oh, you don't know if you agree?
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
What?
I hope it didn't happen.
We're still talking about a dog thing?
I-
I already
I-
mentioned like an hour ago.
I'd entertain a motion. Thank you. Thank you. All in favor?
I.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Well, I don't know, I guess I